Hello, friends. I'm Mark Stanislawski. I'm also Good Ideas Comics, and welcome to another haul video. This is a small haul um, that I wanted to just put on here. S- some very interesting things, some very surprising things that I came across while getting these books, and it just kind of enforces my belief that other YouTubers who shall remain nameless, but they're very popular YouTubers, and there's just a lot of sensationalism out there, and there's a lot of how can I say uh, making things seem worth more than what they actually are, and some of these books here were just surprising to me, and we're going to go through them. This book is not surprising. It's Beware the Planet of the Apes number two. It's a modern book. It's a newer book that Marvel had just put out earlier in the year, and it is a prequel to the original Planet of the Apes movie with Charlton Heston and Roddy McDowell, a classic written by Rod Serling. And I'll just say that the story was interesting, and how they tied it to the movie, but its approach is definitely very comic bookish. um, Very comic bookish in its approach. And the only thing that I didn't like about it was that, this takes place, I don't know, when did the Planet of the Apes take place? Like 3,000 years, right? In the future. And like everything is just gone. There were no skyscrapers, no buildings. So you didn't know that you were close to New York City. The Forbidden Zone was um, forbidden because it used to house humans. It was New York City, and they didn't want the apes knowing that humans once ruled the earth. And the funny thing about this book is that they go to the Forbidden Zone, and all of the buildings are gone except for Yankee Stadium, which is still standing and in pretty good, you know, it's in slight disrepair, but it still looks pretty good. So I was just like, wait a minute, there are no more buildings, but Yankee Stadium is still standing strong. I was like, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So, if you're gonna, and I know in the later movies, they were underground, and they were in the subway system and all that stuff, and I get all that. But at any rate, um, these are from my LCS, and I originally was looking through 50-cent bins. They have 50-cent boxes, and there wasn't much in there that I was interested in. So I said, well, let's move over. Let's move over to the dollar and up bins and see what's in there. And I happened to find this somehow. I had one, three, and four, and missed number two. Don't ask me how I did, but I did. So I was happy to find this in there for $1. It completed the run. I read the story, like I said, and aside from the Yankee Stadium thing, decent story, decent, you know, uh, definitely decent. It was okay. Um, I also came across Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 35. This is the one Jackpot Secret revealed. I think this is the death of Jackpot too, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I saw somewhere death of Jackpot, but anyway, as you can see, it was found it was in there for $1. I was like, wait a minute, Spider-Man Annual, for $1. I remember when there was the, the first time Jackpot came out, And there's this whole thing. Oh, jackpot is Mary Jane Watson Parker. And when this annual came out, it was selling for 5-10 bucks for a while, because there was the hype, the jackpot hype, and people somehow, for whatever reason, liked the character. Um, and yeah, for a bit it was hot, but of course, kind of faded over time. Probably only took a few months, but it was in the bin for $1, and I needed it for my collection. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll take this one. This next one is surprising and interesting. Um, this is Amazing Spider-Man Annual 38. Now, a lot of times when I get books, I check my database, Comic Collector Live, and because you can have a store on there, and people sell stuff, and I usually check prices, for Comic Collector Live, to LCS when I go to a show. I'll have my Comic Collector Live app with me, and I'll check, and if I can get it cheaper on Comic Collector Live, then obviously I'm not going to get it, at the show. Caveats to that, I might, if it's only like $1 more at a show, I might just say, well, it's only $1, so I'll get it. I'll pick it up. But I found that this was right next to the other annual, and you know, I looked up the Comic Collector Live app, and the lowest price on the app was like $13. And I said, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. An Amazing Spider-Man annual, 38, $13. I said, this doesn't make sense. But this was only $1. So I was like, well, yeah, I'm going to pick this up for $1 if the lowest price I can get it from Comic Collector Live is 13. I says, but it just didn't make sense to me. So I came home after I got the books and was checking eBay. And sure enough, there were people on eBay trying to sell this annual for 10, 12, 13, 14, $15. Um, I looked at eBay solds, and it was only selling for, I think the highest I saw it sell for was like $7 or $8, which is way more. And most of them sold for like $3-4, which is what cover price. It's $3.99 was the cover, so it was selling for cover, which So I figured I got a pretty good deal getting it for $1. The only thing I could think of why, oh, excuse me, why this was selling for so long or selling for so high a price was that it's like a three annual crossover between Spider-Man, the Hulk, and Deadpool. So the fact that it's got Deadpool in it, I guess, um, has caused people to think for some reason that this is a book that you can sell for 13, $14, even though I don't see anyone buying it for 13, $14. They're buying it for cover price. Or if you happen to go to an LCS like I did, you can get it for $1. So I, again, this is an annual I needed. Got it for $1. I'm happy with it. The next set of books I got to show are, well, let me just grab them. Are books that I got off of eBay. I was going through eBay. I was like, let me just go through eBay and see what I can find. Trying to find stuff cheap, on eBay, which isn't easy to do. But I found some of these. Now this is Sensational Spider-Man. Now this run began as Marvel Knights Spider-Man, went 22 issues as Marvel Knights Spider-Man. With issue 23, it became Sensational Spider-Man. Um, this would be volume two of Sensational Spider-Man. Back in the, oh boy, late 80s, early 90s. Dan Jurgens, I guess, was brought over to Marvel, and he did a Spider-Man run, which was Sensational Spider-Man. Fairly decent run by Dan Jurgens. I don't think he lasted too long on that book. And then I guess Sensational Spider-Man, that first volume ran for, oh boy, I want to say 40, 50 issues, 40 something issues. But I guess they brought it back after Marvel Knight Spider-Man. I found I don't have too many of the Marvel Knight Spider-Mans. I had a few Sensational Spider-Mans that I'd gotten here and there for like $1 on Facebook claim sales. And I came across a lot of like 6 books. And they were, 6 Sensational Spider-Man books. I think all 6 I didn't have. So I was like, okay, and they were like 2 something a piece. So I was like, all right. So I kept looking, and then I came across this lot. This was a lot of 15 Sensational Spider-Man books, and I think I only had like 2 of the lot of 15. So I was like, oh well, this is even better. And with shipping, this whole lot came to what was it, $1.75 per book. So again, when you can get Spider-Man books for under $2 a piece, you go for it. You jump at it. And like I said, most of these books I did not have. I only had 2 out of the 15. So this goes a long way toward completing this run of Sensational Spider-Man. I think I only need like 2 more issues left. Now, in a couple days is Grand Rapids Comic Con in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I will be going to that. And by the time you see this video, it'll already be gone. Would have already went there and gotten some books. So I'm hoping to finish the run, find the books there, and finish the run of Sensational. But we'll see. We'll see what I find. We'll see what I get. Um, but anyway, back to this. So, first issue, right? Sensational Spider-Man 23, Sensational Spider-Man 24, Sensational Spider-Man 25. Looks like it's a Civil War tie-in, maybe. Sensational Spider-Man 27. Sensational Spider-Man 29. I like that cover. Sensational Spider-Man 30. That's an interesting cover, too. Um, Sensational Spider-Man 31. Sensational Spider-Man 32. I like this cover. Let's see. Sensational Spider-Man 33. I like that cover as well. That's an interesting cover. Sensational Spider-Man 34 with the black cat. Interestingly, uh, in that lot of 15, we have Sensational Spider-Man 35 and Sensational Spider-Man 40. The last issue of this run is 41, I believe, and I have 41, so I have the last issue. But these books are okay. They're very fine. As you can see on this black cover, it does you can see some spine ticks there. But that's fine. That's fine. As I was saying, the the lot also featured three books, three signed books, which I thought was odd. And he was selling them for like 22 and change or best offer, so I offered $20, and he took the offer. Um, I mean, back in the day, back when I was young, I would go to shows and try to get signatures here and there of uh of people that I wanted to do it. But now, it's just like, yeah, okay, the book's signed. That's nice. I don't really care. I just really want the book so I can read the book. But we also have um Sensational Spider-Man 36, signed by the artist Ramon Box. Um, I don't really know what else he's done, to be honest with you. That's a nice cover, though. I got Sensational Spider-Man 37, also signed by Ramon Box. That looks like a zombie cover, isn't it? What is that? Yeah, I don't know what that is. I have to read the issue. But yeah, signed by Ramon Box, and they come with like little little thing saying, "Yeah, it was signed by this guy." It was when was it signed? 2013. It was signed at Motor City Comic Con. Funny enough, um, the person store, whatever I don't know that I bought this from, um, is in Michigan, which is probably why it says they were signed at Motor City Comic Con in Detroit. Um, but it was too far away for me to pick up. It was like it's like the location's like an hour away from me. And believe it or not, the shipping was cheaper than for me to drive an hour there and an hour back with gas and everything. So I just let him ship it to me. This one is nice. Sensational Spider-Man 38, signed by Lee Weeks, who I guess did the art, the interior art in here. Um, and this is a looking it up, it's a more pricey issue because I guess it's from it features Venom or Eddie Brock. You know what? I'm gonna crack this open because I'm curious. But again, and features old lady Madam Web too. Interesting. Oh yeah, Eddie Brock when he was dying. That's right. Eddie Brock died of cancer or something. Yeah. So then we got Venom. Doesn't really look like Lee Weeks, does it? Interesting. I thought. Yeah, I don't know when the original Madam Web passed away, but apparently she had not passed away as of yet. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, it was nice to get these books, especially the signed ones. Like I said, I wanted more to just read the stories. It's nice that they're signed. Don't get me wrong, but for $1.75 a book, that included shipping, I'm happy to get this bunch of sensational Spider-Mans. Like I said, I'm only like two or three issues away from completing the sensational Spider-Man run. The Marvel Knight Spider-Man, I don't have too many issues. I think I only have like three or four of the the first 22 issues of Marvel Knights Spider-Man. But we got that. The Planet of the Apes book that it was nice to get for $1, the Jackpot Annual, and of course this crazy annual that people are trying to sell for ridiculous amounts of money, um, just because it has Deadpool in it, which just it blows my mind. I'll never understand the current comic climate of, just because it has a character that appeared in a movie or TV show, you got to hike up the price on a book for, 600%. It doesn't make sense to me. But again, the deals are out there. I'm showing you, this is the proof that deals are out there. And I see it too. I see it on other YouTube channels. People find stuff, you know, for $1 or $2 or less than $1, that other people are trying to sell for ridiculous amounts of money. And they're doing it, and they're selling it for those ridiculous amounts of money, and people are watching their channels and buying stuff from them. That's It's overpriced. It's just overpriced. And hey, you know what? It's your money. You could do what you want with it. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm just trying to tell you that you can get these books for cheaper. You know, if you go to an LCS, if you look on eBay, you can get them for cheaper. If you go to shows, you can definitely find them at shows. I like going on the last day of shows because they want to get rid of their stuff, and they're willing to make more deals, and a lot of vendors put stuff out at 50% off. So if they price the book at $4, well, now it's a $2 book, and if it's Spider-Man, that's perfect. It's a $2 book. But yeah, I mean that's a big thing when I go to the Grand Rapids Comic Con. I'm going to be looking at trying to mainly Spider-Man books, but I'm going to take a look at everything, and if I can complete a run or two or three or more, whether it's Marvel or DC, then you know that's what I'm going there for, and we'll put those books on YouTube, and we'll talk about that among other things. But yeah, let me know what you want to see. I know I've been doing a lot of haul videos of late, not really doing much of the best indie comics that you've never read, but I enjoy that. That's coming back. I'm also going to be doing some Marvel and DC stuff because I think that's also interesting stuff. The Marvel and DC stuff, we talk more about the stories itself, whereas with the indie stuff, we're going to talk about um, what happened to the structure of it. Is it a good book? Is it not a good book? And why it's not a good book? You know, uh, who are these people making these indie books? And uh, and there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good indie books out there, and we showcased a bunch of them already. If you look back on the channel, and we're going to showcase more of them coming down the pipe. But thank you for tuning in to this one. I know I've rambled on quite a bit here on the end, but again, thank you. And as always, we'll see you in the funny pages.